The reason you're struggling to trust Jesus and accept who he says you are and you feel the shame and you just can't seem to accept anything is not because you have a faith problem, it's because you have a control problem. Every single one of us has faith in something. It just depends what that something is. For example, we place our faith that a bridge is going to hold us up. We place our faith into a plane that is going to get us to the destination. I placed my faith into this chair when I sat down in this chair. I placed my faith into the car that the brake is going to stop when I need to stop so I don't crash my car into a car. It's funny. We don't get in the car and look at the brake and go, oh my gosh, is this right? Is that right? Is that right? And we don't get in the plane and do all this research and make sure every single thing is right. We don't go check the bridge and make all the architecture is perfectly into place. I don't examine this chair before I sit down in it. I just do it because it's faith. But what we're struggling with is confirmation. For some reason, when it comes to Jesus, we can't place the faith that we do into the chair, into the bridge, and the plane, and all these other things into our life into Jesus, because for some reason with Jesus, it's I need to confirm this. I want to know what this means. I want to know what that verse means. What if I do this? What if I do that? And now you're in analysis paralysis and you're in fight or flight mode every second of every day. Instead of seeking Jesus, you're fixing your eyes on what you're doing. You're fixing your eyes on what you can confirm and what you feel, and not fixing your eyes on the cross and what has already been done and already been declared over you, because you want to walk by sight before you walk by faith. And this is why it says anything not done of faith is sin. We cannot please God unless it is of faith. So we convince ourselves that all these good actions, following the law, doing all this stuff is actually getting us closer to God, but it's actually pulling us farther from God and decreasing our impact, because we're not resting in what he made us. We're trying to produce something from a source, a sinful source that's incapable of producing anything good. So what happens now? Let's use the car analogy again. If you are constantly analyzing the car, you're going to be driving fearful and scared. You're not going to actually receive the blessing that you have of the car to drive destination to destination. You're just going to be insecure 24/7. You're going to miss out on the freedom that comes with being able to ride a plane. You're not going to be able to sit on the plane peacefully and excited for the destination you're going to, because you're going to be so scared and analyzing every single thing to it. You're living to avoid hell, and you're not living to represent God here on earth, because you're not accepting that you're already a saint, you're already a citizen of heaven because of what Jesus has already made for you. You still think that you contribute to any of this stuff that happens. So now you spend your whole life trying to confirm God instead of just trusting and surrendering and accepting what he's already done. And what happens? Fight or flight mode 24/7 now. So faith is not saying I understand everything and I did everything and I was so obedient. It's Jesus is my only chance and I'm all in. If this is wrong, then so be it, because I'm going to bank my whole life on what he did, because I know if I do it myself, I have absolutely no chance. Stop banking your whole life on your obedience and how close you feel to God, your theology, what you get right, and start just banking your life on him. Because again, that's your only shot. You may feel scared some days, you may doubt some days, you may be uncertain some days, you may not want to have faith some days, but guess what? At the end of the day, he's the faithful one. So I may feel scared to drive across that bridge, but I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to do it, because if it's right, he's going to get me to my destination. And let's say he doesn't get me to my destination. At least I didn't live my whole life paralyzed by fear and living in fight or flight mode. We could have just been obedient ourselves, tried harder, did better, got the right theology, understood God correctly, then Jesus never would have had to die. And that's why it says in Romans 5:19, through one man's obedience, many are made righteous. So when you start to live freely because sin has no dominion over you anymore, Romans 6:14, and you accept you couldn't do it, but he did it already for you, is the moment that all the things you're striving for are actually going to start to happen naturally as a byproduct from you trusting in the source, and that source is Jesus.